Hey everyone, today we're going to look at how to use else if statements in MakeCode for Minecraft education. Okay, so we've kind of slowly progressed with these videos. We started with our if-then statements, and then we moved on to adding else to that, so if then else, and then we're looking at now adding else if. So it's if then else if else is the way that it works. But we're gonna see that, so don't worry. But this is kind of just adding that next level of complexity, but it does allow for kind of a little bit more challenging gaming scenarios, which are kind of super cool to create. Now let's have a look at this is our little scenario here, and essentially we have this passage, and I've left it open for now, but we're going to fill it in a second. But we have a question here. So what two numbers added together equal 11? So we need to decide which two combined equal 11. So the answer is 8 and 3. But what we're doing as part of this gameplay is that they have to, place down one of these lights. So they need to place them down like that. And that will be the correct answer. But there is a possibility, whoops, there we go, is that, the player may choose this. And we need to let them know that what they've chosen is incorrect. So we need to build out all of these possible scenarios. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to open up MakeCode. So remember, you just press C on your keyboard, or you can click on the little agent as well. And what we're going to do here is, because we're placing blocks, we're going to go to the block section and we're going to pick this one here. Now, you might have noticed the light I'm using is one of the blocks I'm using is one of the frog lights, and we're using this one here. If you've watched the video before this, you would have noticed I used the other color. That's why I think I kind of mentioned something along the lines that when you build out little games like this where you pass through questions, it's nice to pick something that has different colors, for example, because then you can kind of keep the same theme. Now, this is all logic and it's all conditional based, so we're going to grab this one here and we will expand on it, but let's just start off with doing the correct answer. I always recommend that the first statement you put in, this true component here, is essentially the correct answer. So let's do that. So you have to put down 2. So we have to add what we call a little bit of comparison or Boolean coding. So we have to put down 2 blocks. So that we need to add in this part here where we can put in 2 possible truths. So we're going to grab this AND statement and pop it in there first. And then we need to specify where the 2 correct frog lights go, okay, to give us the answer. So we want to test for if those lights are put down in the correct position. So we're going to pop the first one in there first, okay? We're going to switch this to our frog light, so this one, and then we need to specify exactly where that frog light needs to go. Now to do that, we switch this over to world and replace it. And now I need to know these coordinates. So let's do the first one. So let's jump back out and do 3, okay? And just stand there, because that's where the light's going to go. If you're ever worried, just place it down, stand on it, and then destroy it, and then you're basically standing in the right spot. But you should be pretty right. So we can see there the coordinates in the top left, 495, 33, minus 28. So let's go back and write that in. Okay, so the very first one is 495, 33, minus 28. There we go. And because that's just 3, we also need to account for 8 as well. So that's where the AND part comes in. So if we select here and duplicate, you can just go back through blocks and rebuild it again, but this is a little bit of a time saver. And I'm going to place that one there. And essentially, we just need to change one of these numbers. So if I jump back out, all I've got to do is go and stand in the other spot, so where 8 is, so there. So it's 49532 minus 26. So it's the z coordinate that has changed. So instead of minus 28, it's going to be minus 26. So at the moment, this statement is saying is that when this colored frog light is placed, if test for a frog light at this position and a frog light at this position, so if those two things are true, so if there are frog lights at both of those positions, then run the first part of the code. Okay. Now the first thing is like we did before. Let's put in a game message. So we're going to go gameplay, show a title message. And we're going to, let's go with well done. Okay, we might even say like, you know, yes, 3 plus 8 equals 11. Okay. So there we go, happy days. The other thing though is that we had that doorway. So like we did in the previous example, we opened up the doorway. So it was filled and then we basically filled it with air. And so we need to know that position as well. So let's jump out and let's go stand here in this doorway, just like that. And we need to take note of those positions, those numbers. So 495, 32, 30, minus 32. And then we need to remember that it's also one up. So it's kind of, you have to account for this one down here and this one there as well. So instead of 32, it'll also be 33. So let's go put that fill part in. So here in blocks, we want to go fill. There we go. Doesn't matter if it's on top or underneath. Now we don't want to fill it with grass. We want to fill it with air. And we want to specify those exact locations. So we just pop one in first. So that was 495, 32 minus 32. And then we need to do the block above it as well. So because there's 2 blocks. So, whoops, nearly got it wrong. So let's duplicate that one. There we go. It's exactly the same, it's just that it's on the Y, so it's also up 1. So that needs to be 33 as well. So 32 and 33. Wonderful. So that will give us our correct answer. Okay, correct answer is done and we're happy with it. Okay, so what is probably next best to do is the wrong answer. Okay. So it's when the player places the frog light, I think it was 2 that I chose. So when they place it there. So what we want to do is we just want to add another line here. So we're going to do an else if, okay? And then you'll notice here that it's looking for what the condition is. And in this case, it's going to be another one of these test fors. So again, you could just duplicate that, but what I'll do is I'll go from the start again. So we'll go blocks, test for, we're going to pop that one in there. We're going to change that grass to frog light, make sure you get the right color, and then we're going to specify the world position. So let's get that in first and then we'll go find it. So remember, I'm doing when it gets put in the wrong space, so I don't have those numbers yet because we haven't gone and placed our character there yet. So there, 2. So we're just making sure I'm not flying. So it's 495, 33 minus 30. Okay, which kind of makes sense based on what the previous numbers were. So 495, 33 minus 30. Now that is when they place the block in the wrong spot. Okay, so we want to let the player know. Okay. So let's do that first. Let's show them a message. Pop that in. And let's just go with something like wrong. Try again. Okay. Now the thing is that once it's there, we also need to get rid of it. Okay, because you just need to have the 2 blocks that are right. Okay, so we need to also clear it out. So remove it as well, because we can't leave it there. So we need to set up for that parameter. So let's pop another fill in here, just like that. Then we're going to go, let's replace replace it with air because that will just wipe it out and get rid of the frog light that was put in the wrong spot. And then we just specify that coordinate where they just placed it. And you just need to do it twice. So it's, if we duplicate this one to save time, we pop it there. Okay, and because it's just one block, we're filling to and from the same position. Okay, so that will do that part. So let's have a look at what we've done so far. So we're gonna place down one of these blocks, okay? And so if we notice that these two blocks are in these two positions, we're gonna fill that cavity, that doorway with air. We're gonna tell them well done and say that yes, 8 plus 3 does equal 11. Else, if here they place the block at that well position, we're gonna say wrong and we're gonna clear it out. We're gonna get rid of it. So let's even just do a quick test because it's worthwhile checking as you go. So let's do that wrong answer component. So if I put that there, it goes wrong, try again. And as you saw, it cleared it out. And then let's say here, let's fill that up. And I put that one there, and I put that one there. It goes, well done, 8 plus 3 equals 11, and that doorway opened up. Okay. Now what I want to show you is kind of adding some more level of complexity to this, okay? And it's kind of like, well, what happens when I just place that? Kind of nothing. Like we're not really kind of leading the player in any way, and they might have gone like this. It just says wrong, try again, and yes, then they could go like that, okay? Understandable, but we can definitely add to this component. So let's jump back in here, and we're going to add in another else if componentry here. So this time what we're going to do is in our logic, we're going to use or. So let's grab this one here. Because what we're going to say, I'm going to jump into this section here, is I'm going to say this, is basically if you put one of those frog lights in either 8 or 3, so either of the correct answers, I still want to let them know that they're on the right track. So I'm going to say, you know, correct, and then I might say 1 more to go. Okay, so it's letting them know that the one that you just placed is right, okay, but you still need 1 more. Which one do you think it is? And so we need to let the coding know, well, when do I show this message? Okay, and essentially it's whenever this happens, okay, whenever it's placed in either of these. So again, to save time, we're going to duplicate these. Let's bring them down, and I'm going to pop the first one there. Got to get it right in that. There we go, got it. And this is the other one. So let's duplicate that one as well. And there we go. So let's test that. So this is what's going to happen now. So before, when I put the block down, nothing happened. Nothing indicated to me as the player that I've got part of it right. But now it goes correct, 1 more to go. And I might come here and it will go wrong. Oh, okay. And so then it must be this one. So kind of helps to guide the player. And it doesn't matter. I could still put it here on this one and I still get that same message because I said either this one or this one. Okay. So it can be either one of them. So the very last thing we're going to do is we still have an else to do. And what that one is going to be is when I place a block here, for example, because that's kind of a bit weird, isn't it? If I get rid of that, if I place it there, it could kind of cause a little bit of confusion, and you will get players who will just kind of do this. So what we want to do is put a little bit of, like, I guess, a fail safe in and give them a message. So let's go back to our coding and basically say, it's saying here that when one is placed, okay, one of these lights is placed, I do just want to make sure that if they don't put it in the wall, that we communicate somehow. So I'm going to go show, I'm going to pop it in here, and then I'm just going to, I don't know, I'm going to write something like, blocks need to go in the wall. Okay, something like that. So this time when a player goes, or maybe it was innocent, maybe they didn't mean to do it, they may go, oh, I think it's 2. Oh, okay, that's not right. So it's telling me that the blocks need to go into the wall, and that's in that case that I've got it wrong. Okay, so that there is our final code. We've got quite a lot built into that, but it's a decent bit of if then else if coding happening. It definitely allows for everything that could kind of happen in our gameplay scenario. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you can build out your own. If you're following along in this training world as part of the program, you can progress through and have a go here at adding in an additional one. So we did 3 in that one. The challenge here for you is, well, how do you build this out when there are 4 possible solutions or 4 possible places that a frog life could be placed. So I hope you have fun doing that, and we will see you again